And, you know, in the early game, too, having that Elder Titan gives you the ability to hit hard early. You know, if you put him over in the lane and he uses that spirit to come across the creeps and the heroes he's up against and then move it over to the neutral camps to this side, he's getting an extra, 50, 60, 70 damage early on into the game. And when you have that with, say, a Leshrac, or you go for a first blood, things can be very sketchy. But they go Gyrocopter here. Crystal Maiden Abaddon, I like the combo so far. I like the combo because I think Crystal Maiden's I would like to say the 5 and not the Abaddon. And now the Rubik comes in. So yeah, that should put Leshrac into a core role for sure. Rubik 4, Elder Titan 5. That is very good here. You've got this Rubik who's going to bring you even more control. Keen now going into the Bane. That moves the Crystal Maiden 4, Bane 5, Abaddon 3, which is good. I don't like the Abaddon in the 5 position. I think Abaddon is great in the 3. I think he's pretty horrible in the 5, quite honestly. And that'll put
10 seconds remaining.
Xiaofu on the Crystal Maiden, Tian Ming on the Bane, Abaddon for Dark. And then should be Kama on the Gyro, but it could be a mid-keen Gyro if that's the decision they choose to make. Of course, it's not common, but it does happen. So he's got to think about it. I like the Razor here. I like the Razor because of the control that they have. But against it, of course, you do have the Fiend's Grip and a Homing Missile, Frostbite. Abaddon could throw a Silence on you, a Photic Shield as well, to help out and survive. And I like the Razor. We'll just see if the counters against it, at least for right now, are enough to go up against it. I'd say at least mid. If this Razor does end up mid, and it should be a Leshrac safe lane Razor mid. Although, looking at that Slark band, maybe they're thinking something else.
5 seconds remaining.
And Legion, so no, they're not. Legion Commander in the off lane. I like that too. It was interesting to see 897 on the mid Legion Commander last night. Quite the odd take for sure.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
So Legion Commander, Razor. You can get into a duel. Static Links out there. Legion just hits away. You have the extra damage coming out from the Razor. We'll see what Keen Gaming bring to the table for Yi. As they've already gotten rid of the Quap, the OD, the TA, Pugna, Kunkka, Zeus. A lot of mids taken out of this game already. So waiting to see what they want mid. I don't think they're going to go Storm. I think there's too much control here to go Storm. I think you go Storm and you put yourself in a pretty odd predicament. Maybe you want control and you go Puck. As well as having that silence, the Illusory makes it, you know, you're a little slippy. The Waning Rift is always good. Dream Coil in this situation wouldn't be bad either. Yeah, Ember's available as well. So, you know, something kind of similar to what the Puck gives you in the movement and the control that is there with the Remnants and the Searing Chains. And Ember is going to output a decent chunk of damage. Gives them even more control. Both teams not lacking it. TMing on the Bane, Zhao Fu on the Crystal Maiden in the 4. 3 is Dark on the Abaddon, 2 Ember Yi, and then Kama on the 1 Gyrocopter. And then All-Win on the Legion Commander, AQ on that Razor, Fonte on the Safe Lane with Shrek, Wei Shi on the Rubik, and Faith on the Elder Titan. So, at least for me, I'm looking at this newbie draft, and I do like it. To put some pressure on. You have the Leshrac with the Diabolic Edict. You have the control early. If you can get some dual wins early and really roll off that and put some pressure on and maintain that pressure, could do really well with this newbie draft.
Prepare for battle.
So let's see how this goes. I think if Newbee have a good early game, it's going to be very difficult for Keen Gaming to find their way back into it. But if they can keep the pace of this game, I would say relatively slow, where the pressure isn't on too heavily. Even, I mean, yesterday we saw it. All tier 2's gone and still teams finding a way to come back. Both drafts are looking
30 seconds.
pretty good. Fonte will get hit up by Zhao Fu for just a moment. They do have Dark. I wonder if he'll go into the Curse of Avernus first. Usually the case when you've got a 3-position Abaddon. Yeah, there it is. Curse of Avernus, they'll push away Fonte. Meanwhile, Kama, he's down towards bottom, but sitting all the way back, and it ends up being 2 for 2. So for those of you who don't remember who Freeze is, and I see a couple of questions in there, Kama used to be known as Freeze. He played for VGJ Thunder back when they were around. I think he was their mid once upon a time, if I'm not mistaken. And then he played for Sirius for a split second. And then he also played for Deathbringer Gaming. A lot of damage being done here on the Elder Titan. And this is, you know, Faith. What he should do at least is, you know, he throws the spirit over. maybe what we used to see, and we don't see it anymore, is stacking this camp right here for the Elder Titan to get that extra damage. Go like 1, 2, 1, and then just throw the Spirit over here, have that extra damage, and harass these heroes away. But I'm not sure what the mindset is behind no longer doing that. No longer going for those stacks. Ooh, Ember low by himself. And run down past the tier 1 for a moment. He'll salve up and is able to survive. Yee, Jesus. Early on with that static link, just getting damage thrown right back at him. Rocket Barrage onto this all-in Legion Commander. And a first blood in a weird position. Like, Legion's here, I assume, looking for Tian Ming there to try and get a first blood of her own. But to be out that far, Gyro's already got level 2. He's gone into the homing missile as well as the Rocket Barrage. A lot of quick damage coming his way, and you know, that's with the continual harassment of the Brain Sap. And now Tian Ming's going to come over with double damage. So you got to be careful. You could die again real quick.
No, you don't.
Throw a homing missile out and, well, that would just be the end of you. So creep comes over. Actually gets a stack on it. As the two of them are trading that back and forth. Razor now level 4, 2 into the static link. And forcing yet another salve out from this Ember, but the Razor also using a salve, and that's Faith just sacrificing himself to the tier 2 tower. You can see 0 health, 66 mana. What he's trying to do, get full health, full mana, be more effective in this lane. You don't want to sit here with no mana, because if you're sitting here no mana, what is the Elder Titan doing to you? What he's wanting to do is get that Spirit out there, pull it back, and yeah, start hitting for an extra 43 and get a kill. It's exactly what Faith wants. You know, without him sacrificing himself to the tier 2 tower, that's something that's just not going to be realistically possible. Once again sitting low, but has Nightmare this time around. Alwyn with Weishi sitting full health for the both of them, and coming down bottom, or to the bottom rune is AQ to pick up an Arcane Rune. So static link definitely going to be used off cooldown, that's for sure. Use it with that Arcane Rune and get as much effectiveness out of it as possible. Stun comes in from Fonte. A Photic Shield pops, but the Diabolic Edict, they should have the kill on the Faith, and they will. Xiaofu finishes him off. Doesn't have one in a Frostbite. Frostbite. It's actually just 2 into the Crystal Nova right now and 1 into the Arcane Aura. And they'll move over towards the 5-minute bounty runes. Fonte grabs that one. It's going to be 3-1 in favor of Newbee. They're also going to go back to...
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Also going to go back to Shrine. Meanwhile, again over top. Xiaofu, a Photic Shield will save him this time. How much is the Elder Titan hitting extra here? Only 40. But I don't think he dragged that through the creep wave or anything. Just kind of hit the Crystal Maiden and a couple of neutrals. So, for right now, things going really well in the mid lane so far for the Razor. Ember keeping up. It's not like it's the worst thing in the world. We have seen Yi kind of salve up a couple times, but still holding his own, and he's second in the CS, so things have been fine thus far. One level in the Miscoil, 2 in the Aphotic Shield, 1 in the Curse of Avernus. And there's that Frostbite. Fonte in trouble. The chase is on. Split Earth hits, and meanwhile, Bane goes down over bottom. You've got Fonte, who does not have any regen. He doesn't have a shrine to retreat to. Titan could be in trouble here. Crystal Nova once again, and doesn't actually have the mana for the Frostbite. Regenerating pretty well, only on level 1 of the Arcane Aura, but with the Curse of Avernus on and the Aphotic Shield popping, Faith just gets run down by Dark and Jiaofu pretty easily. And they could probably do the same to Fonte if he's not too careful. Split Earth comes in, they'll miss the stun, and Fonte, he's dead here. The Aphotic Shield will pop, the Diabolic Edict does damage, but that's just going to kill him quicker. Fatebolt thrown, one more last hit needed, and Zhao pops the stick. Needs to get in the trees or get out of range, and well, the health regen from the Tango is enough. Woo! Surviving there with just 23 health. Boy, was that close. Jiaofu very happy to survive. And now he's got Tranquils. So he's in it to win it. He'll have a Miscoil and he'll stay in this lane. That's great timing. Tango doing work there for the Crystal Maiden. Razor goes back into the jungle. He's going to clean up pretty quickly. Ember should be able to keep up over in the mid lane, at least net worth-wise. CS, you know, you're going to get bumped up just because of the fact that you've got yourself into the jungle and you're taking out neutrals. Fonte dead again. They'll rotate over AQ, but you look at the damage that's being done to Faith. It's a 2-for-1. Definitely not the trade that Newbee were looking for, and Keen Gaming doing a very good job of just getting the control that they need and continuing to play aggressive. And it's a little bit interesting because I was thinking maybe Newbee would be the team that plays it aggressive, and well, at least for right now, especially with how well the Abaddon's doing. He's got the borrowed time. He's very strong in the moment. He is running down these heroes over top, and Fonte struggling on this with Shrek, who needs to be off to a good start.
The rune of regeneration.
Well, there's some free duel damage. That's always nice if you're a Legion commander. You get that first duel win within the first 10 minutes. See that Razor is top of this net worth chart, followed up by the Abaddon, who's having a very good time over in the top lane. He's already got phase boots, as well as that starting Orb of Venom, going into the Vlad's next, and just free farming at the moment. He's very happy with this. You know, the Vlad's going to be very good for the team. The lifesteal will be great. Sustainability all around, and he should be happy with that. Meanwhile, AQ, Searing Chain, Static Link. Now he needs to be careful, but he's got Dark to help out. Aphotic Shield will pop. They get the sleep. AQ trying to survive. They do have Miscoil available and will get the kill. They lose Jiaofu, who melts. And Dark trying to turn it once again. He might even come back into this if they think that Dark is strong enough, but the borrowed time gets popped, and they stop the Pulse Nova, overwhelming odds, and this is now just space being made. And, well, yeah, Weishi will get the kill.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So 2-for-1 there, but slowing down the top of the net worth hero is never a bad thing. And Jiaofu cleaning up some stacks with his ult. Okay.
Dire's bottom tower is is under attack.
If the
Dire's
pros do it,
has fallen.
you can no longer flame your teammates in pubs. Just saying. You can't. Not allowed. Nightmare onto the Elder Titan. Press the attack. Get him out of it.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's kind of crazy how well Zhao Fu is kind of farming on this 4-position Crystal Maiden. And Dark just top, taking a tower.
Dire's structures are fortified.
No glyph, but are they going to rotate? That's the question. You've got the Ember nearby on the cutoff point if they were to rotate just walking. At least for now, they'll TP in one. That's going to be a second. Dark needs to be careful. They'll look for the deny. Alwyn trying to stand here and get the deny and will. Now they've got the duel with 4 heroes around the Abaddon. They'll pop the borrowed time, lock him down, hit the split earth, and now they've got the sweep of the telekinesis. 5 heroes here for the side of Newbee. Good rotation, though. Team Gaming coming back into it. Fonte taking a lot of damage, and, well, he's gone. He gets the kill. Fiend's Grip onto AQ. Will take out Tiaming as well as E. Kama goes down. Triple kill for Weishi. And they will chase on forward for Zhao Fu. And this will be a full team wipe in the favor of Newbee. A ultra kill for Rubik. I don't know why Keen Gaming are trying to turn that. But they fail to do so. They're without their tankiest hero and Dark.
Radiant's
Nowhere
top
close to
tower
being
is
involved.
under
I don't
attack.
understand the fight there. All of a sudden, Weishi picks up a huge chunk of farm. He was sitting like, what, 200 gold behind the Crystal Maiden, and now about 1,000 ahead? Look at that. That's going to be a pretty quick Rod of Atos here for the Rubik. Even more control.
А что за гопник в скобках аналитик у тебя на стриме? Выключай его.
Ладно, все, хватит. Пошутили и хватит.
Подожди, почему я гопник аналитик? Я сразу же сказал, что будет в миде. Ну, объективно. Сказал, что Эмбер будет фистами убирать клинок, и это нормально, чтобы люди не думали...
Все, ладно, Дахак, успокойся. Все, из Гамбит выгнали, не надо тут.
Да вы...
Не оправдывайся, Дахак.
Там ДД у Эмбера, кстати, нападение.
Ой, а вот и Цемка подъехала. Ну, жалко, что это не выиграно. Не, ну я не знаю, у них так получается, что они даже дуэль не могут выиграть. Ай, хорошо, Потик Шилд выпускает из гриппа, но Вейкси догорает Ксиафу, его Кристал новая, тут еще Фризинг Филд. Ну как же классно сыграл Ксиафу в этом игровом моменте. И все же они напали на ЦМ-ку, использовали дуэль, ее убили, но уже после дуэли, урона не заработали. Сама Легионка нафидела и разменяли четверку и тройку в пятерку. Да, там был потрачен байбек, но какая разница? Это еще и вышечка для команды King. Сложная ситуация, ну зато Рейзер фармит, у Рейзера уже есть блокинг бар. И как тебе, кстати, закуп его? Он купил себе и брейсер, и брейсбэнд.
Ну, это нормально.
Прикольно. Я на суппортах делаю себе и брейсер, и нулик.
Это плохо.
Это круто, не надо. Ты знаешь, есть такие некоторые там ЦМки, бейны, которые тоже... Вот смотри, ЦМка 2 брейсера, разве это плохо?
На Миране точно не надо покупать.
Да,
брейсер.
на любых героях брейсера это топ-тема, мне кажется.
Хорошо. Ну, нет откуда знать, я мусорный. Я 2К пытаюсь, мужик, выйти.
Так, ну вот смотри, возможно, вторая выигранная дуэль. Да, ну... Сколько уже до этого было дуэлей, которые они не могли выиграть. Ну и вот наконец-таки Wizard получает себе урон. Это дуэлька уже второго левела. Но все равно как-то маловато дэмэджа. У нее есть блинк, а урона, в общем-то, и нету. 150 с руки, это явно не предел, явно не максимум легионки на 19-ю минуту. И хотелось бы больше. Но зато есть IQ, у которого уже Блэкинг Бар, у которого скоро будет Юл. На самом-то деле я бы задумался насчет Юла. Может, все-таки барабаны какие-нибудь? У тебя же есть уже БКБ на подсейв? Может быть, Юл, он хочет сделать, присасываться статик-линком, нажимать на врага этот Юл. Плюс ко всему, у Ньюби есть проблема, вот если AQ кого-то в соло преследует, или когда Легионка уже потратила дуэль, у них есть проблемы со сбиванием телепортов, и, возможно, Юл это будет дополнительной опцией, чтобы сбивать ТП. Но не знаю, как бы... Барабаны все равно нужно придумать себе. Как ни крути, ты купил корону, и из нее что-то нужно сделать. 13-14, ровная игра. Так, ну чатик, вы можете голосовать, кто же, по вашему мнению,
Maiden going into the Squimmer Cape, Ember going into the Lincoln Sphere, and then Abaddon, who's just been kind of farming pretty safely after the laning stage into that hood, finishing off the pipe, and has the Vlads. So Dark's doing a great job. He's there for the utility. Smoke from Newbee coming over. They'll look for the duel. It'll be out onto the gyrocopter. They've got the Earth Splitter. They'll get the kill onto the gyro. Kama taken out. They did pop the BKB for that, but they did get dual damage as well.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's top tower
She
is
taking the
under
bottom
attack.
tier 1.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Flames will spread thrice.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Looks like they're engaging over bottom. this Searing Chains. Rubik in trouble. Press the attack comes out, but there's the Frostbite as well as the Fiend's Grip committed. Sweep will hit, so that'll be stopped, but at least she ends up dying to Dark anyway. Crystal made it with the farming ult once again. Dark putting some pressure on. They've got the Yules. They'll look for the sweep. Not going to land it. Now the Legion in a bad spot. Press the attack. Purges off the Searing Chains, but they've got the Frostbite. Our Splitter doesn't really do much of anything. The sweep comes through onto this Razor, and then the Rocket Barrage with the call down. A quick kill of AQ. And very well done there by Keen Gaming to not only know the positioning of their enemies, but work around it. Really, really well done. King Gaming continuing to keep this game close. Gyro just farming up this BKB. Now sitting top of the net worth. They'll come across smoked. Wizard will have his smoke broken and will continue to cut across, but they're not going to find anything on the Keen Gaming side. Look at how far up the Ember's able to go. Spot. Bit of movement, but nothing at the moment.
Double damage.
Do they have another smoke to use? They do not.
Dire's structures are fortified.
They are going to TP towards top. They'll look for the Gyro. Telekinesis, and the Fiend's Grip comes in through the BKB. The call down is there, but here comes AQ, and I think they're happy with TM Ming dying, but they'll find a +1. Get the dual win on the CM, and TM Ming trying to juke through the trees, but everybody's here.
Who is the ultimate Magus? That's right, I am.
So they do end up saving the Gyrocopter, who now picks up his 10-second BKB. But more dual damage going the way of this Legion, and well, 2 more kills there for Newbee to put them up about 1,000 net worth.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is falling.
My house.
Dire are scanning.
Aggressive
Dire's
blink coming in.
middle tower is under attack.
Again, Abaddon just continuing to safely farm. He has had a real easy time thus far, and 5-2 and 4. Freeze leading the charge. AQ moving over. They'll place a ward down. They'll get the vision. They'll spot Dark. They'll TP out AQ, and Freeze will just move forward, continuing to farm the lane.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Lincoln's finished for the Ember. And they're grouped up. They do have a smoke on the Elder Titan as well as a smoke ready on the Rubik. Looks like they're potentially looking to make a smoke play out of this, but not exactly going to be all too easy. Going up against now the 10-second BKB of the Gyro. He's going into the Butterfly next. They didn't end up smoking. But Keen does. They're going to move all the way up and out and around. They're not going to find anybody on Newbee because it looks like they're backing off to smoke themselves. And yeah, they're going to TP in and boom. Smoke in 3, 2, 1. I still screwed up that timing and I delayed the 3. Now they go through the mid lane. They'll miss each other. Pretty
Radiant's middle tower
unfortunate for both sides.
Dire's top tower
Just missing
is
each
under
other,
middle
but
tower.
continuing to pressure. They've got Lestrak, who's going to keep moving forward, and I mean, you look at how much damage is being done to the tier 3 with the Diabolic Edict. They need to get back and try to defend this because they're just going to lose it. Remnant forward, but still nothing on it. They'll pop the Lincolns.
Is under attack.
People trying to escape here on Newbee. Let's see who's able to get out and who can't. Although I would say who can't and think that maybe they go for
Dire's top tower
something, but they just kind of come back to the mid lane. They don't even go for any exit kills. A surprisingly passive play from Keen Gaming. Surprisingly very passive right there. Axe for the Abaddon. Axe for the Ember? No. Just going, Mjolnir Shivas. They're trying to maintain pressure on this Roche Pit, potentially get that first Aegis, especially if they get a pick off or two.
Radiant's top shrine is under attack.
They're going to take away that shrine, or at least try to make sure that they have control. BKB is going to be popped, and now coming in is going to be Newbee. They'll throw the Remnant out. They'll bounce on back, but they've got the static link onto this Abaddon, who couldn't get down to the low ground and now needs to run. The Yules comes in, and it is 253 damage for the Razor. But they're on their way out. Alwyn did expend his BKB. They have the BKB available for the Razor if they want to go back into this. And now the Sleight of Fist, Searing Chain still holding onto the BKB. Freeze moving forward. There's the Frostbite finally popping it. Eating a lot of damage, and they've got the Fiend's Grip available. Call down, Blink, Duel, that comes through. That's going to stop the Fiend's Grip on an AQ, but the damage is pretty heavy from Kama as well as Yi. Xiaofu gets the kill on all when they look over. The Sleight of Fist, Yi getting low. Force Staff back, can he get away? They've got the Pulse Nova as well as the BKB. They run down the Ember, but they lose 4 heroes, potentially 5. They did get the sweep, but they'll have the Yules onto the Bane to try and run away. And I think this Leshrac does in fact get out, but still very costly in numbers for Newbee.
This'll come in handy. Haste!
That'll open up the Roche Pit. There's that Aegis for freeze. He bought, he bought that BKB, finally uses it. It seemed like it was a long time on those 10-second charges, but now he's about to finish off the Butterfly. And King Gaming doing a really good job. 0-5 and 10 though for TM Ming. I mean, that's a great kill line in my opinion. You don't need kills to make it seem like you're good. You got the 10 assists, and especially with the control that he's been getting with the Fiend script, he should be happy about what he's participated in with this team. Hasn't felt like Abaddon's died in a long time. Heaven's Halberd next for Alwyn. Have the AC available for the Razor. It's still Mjolnir, right? For the Ember? No, he's going to the Axe. That's what I was talking about before. I thought he'd go Axe, and he had the Mjolnir and a Shiva's queued up. But he will, in fact, end up going for the Axe. They've got the Nightmare out onto the Rubik. That'll be pulled off eventually. And now the Remnant away. Well, is she trying to survive? Another Remnant gone, and, well, you give up the Remnant, you're going to give space to a Rubik to get out. This should allow Keen Game to put some pressure on the bottom tier 2.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Gotta remember, they still have this Aegis to work with. They, you know, having that second life, having the 9-second BKB. They're gonna be ready for mostly what's thrown their direction, and they should have Ags now for the Ember, who's gonna TP back, and then Remnant back into the, you know, into the rest of the team.
Has fallen.
Is he gonna join the rest of the team? For right now, he's just cleaning up over top. Doesn't want to let it push in. There it is. And onto the high ground they'll go.
Radiant's top tower is under
Lotus
attack.
Orb here for the Abaddon, so not only does he have the strong Dispel, the Aphotic Shield, but he's got the basic Dispel, the Lotus Orb.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Sweep attempt, and now going into the last tier 2 tower, and they're going to take it.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And the line is drawn to back off and go towards top. Fonte sitting here within the trees. He's got Boots Travel as well as the TP out. AQ here, Lincoln's top, Remnant away. Easy does it, and now he's back over by his team. They'll go onto the high ground. Lotus Orb placed onto the gyro, and see what they'll find, if anything. BKB is going to be popped here by AQ immediately into the Fiend's Grip, which will be left off as they've got the sweep. The duel comes in onto Kama. Earth Splitter hits, but he's got that BKB, so he's maintaining a lot for right now, but helped up so well where they finally pop that Aegis, but it's only the first life. They go after TMing with the Pulse Nova. A lot of mana being expended. They don't get the stun over, and now Yi moving forward. AQ gone. Faith goes down. They've popped the borrowed time. They'll go after the Legion Commander. Ultra kill for the Ember, and this might even just be the Rampage for him if he's willing to dive in. And he might. Fonte shows himself. Does have Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains. We'll throw it on. There's the Yules to avoid the homing missile, and, well, they're going to start taking your racks. Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, Rocket Barrage coming out. Pulse Nova doing what it can, but still losing the melee racks.
Has fallen. Dire's middle barracks. Dire's middle barracks has fallen. Dire's
Pop the Curse of Avernus, get a Glyph,
Dire's top tower.
and they could still keep going for it. No grab the tower.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
Frostbite, Sleight of Fist. BKB's going to be popped by Fonte. Looking over the Crystal Maiden. The BKB now popped by Kama. He's going to continue to do a lot of damage. The Flat Cannon pushing back Fonte, who will immediately try to TP out. But Split Earth is there. Force Staff not onto the low ground. And can he escape? Call down Yules. He's got the Yules. And, well, Elder Titan, he's sitting low. They get the duel. But I don't know if they'll get the dual damage. He's able to walk away for a second until he's inevitably dead, and now they'll find Tian Ming to get yet another. But this is so much from Newbee just to get these 2 kills.
Tribute to my house.
This'll come in handy.
So now a 9,000 net worth lead for the side of Keen Gaming. Abaddon has that Ags being delivered.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And he'll spot Fonte.
Fortified.
Thinks about giving chase. Roche up in potentially a minute.
Double time!
Hex being built for the Shrag. And Mjolnir finished for the Ember. Meanwhile, Gyro, Satanic next. He's got Daedalus finished. I'm a very happy sitting on top of the net worth lead at the moment. And it'll be a long Roche. Another 2 minutes to go. You worry about how Newbee find their way back into the game, and I think their pressure was being mounted earlier in the game, but I haven't exactly done enough to finish off this game, and you know, they don't even have a net worth lead, so being behind like this, they need their next couple of items, they need to be able to defend, and unfortunately, with you know, the ability of King Gaming with what they've got at the moment, it is going to be hard to do so, and you see Alwyn just taken out easily, popping the BKB, but you've got Fiend's Grip, so they don't really care. It's as simple as that. You pop your BKB and we've got Fiend's Grip, well, you're probably still dead.
Dire's top shrine has fallen.
Never refuse gold given. A tithe.
Look over in the Roche pit, yet another 44 seconds to go. They'll just wait by the pit, looking for the next Roche. Words are here, so that'll spot out all that posturing from Keen Gaming. Maybe get an idea of where Keen Gaming are staying for the moment and trying to figure out how to handle this next. Gyro gets his Satanic. I'm not even certain how you really do kill him. 5 seconds till you've got the Legion Commander back up. Meanwhile, the smoke in from Keen Gaming around the Roche pick, trying to catch anybody out that they can. They'll go on to the high ground, but Well, Newbee are all the way back, and it looks like they're going to smoke themselves. Or at least, that's what it looked like they were going to do. Yeah, there it is. So they'll come near the pit. It's got to be a little quicker than this, but I don't know if they're going to make it in time. They'll look for the blink in. It'll be out onto the Bane. So they'll quickly get themselves a kill onto this Bane. But they've given up the Aegis. Chi's still sitting in the pit. Now they'll look for the sweep, but it's not going to land. The BKB's been popped by Alwyn. There's the Remnant forward looking over at AQ. Remnant down on the Legion Banner. Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains. That hits on both of them. Press the attack to purge it off. BKB's going to be popped by Kama. The Earth Splitter comes in, but it's not going to be a good one. Homie Missile in. That'll get the finishing blow. Meanwhile, the Static Link is out from AQ. They've got the call down. There's the Yule. Splitter lands on the Kama. He's in trouble. He's been lifted up and not killed just yet. He's got the Aegis. AQ is the one who's getting low and ends up dying. It's going to be 3 heroes without buyback at the moment. Dead for the side of Newbee. Now the Yules once again. Ulti pop by Zhaofu. Fonte, he's trying to land a stun, but the Force Staff away. Fonte won't even get the kill on the Zhaofu. 4 heroes gone. GG is called all the way inside the base. Rubik getting low. He's got the Aphotic Shield to survive and get back into the well, but it won't matter. They've already called GG, and Keen Gaming take game 1. So 29-22, Keen Gaming finishing it up there. TMing ending 0-8 and 14, and really just being ulti bait. Coming in, throw the duel, that's fine. Then we'll kill you afterwards. And Keen Gaming did a good job. They held it close when they were down and then came up. I mean, Keen Gaming, the much stronger team. No surprises here. And once they had the BKB on the gyrocopter as well, they positioned themselves really well, especially around the pit. Got that first Aegis, got the second Aegis as well, and open up the space for Yi to find farm, get the phase boots, the Lincolns, the Ags, and the Mjolnir. Or it was phase boots, Maelstrom, Lincolns, Ags, Mjolnir. Obviously the drums before that, and they just opened up that space, did really well for Yi. Kama did a good job of finding his farm when the spots were opening up for him as well. Dark, 2 deaths early on, didn't die afterwards, and did a really good job of keeping his team alive and having that Aphotic Shield and running at these heroes on the side of Newbee with the Curse of Avernus. So, good job there for Keen Gaming. Did very well to win that game 1, and we'll be back with game 2 in just a moment between Keen and Newbee. I'm your caster, Bcop, at Bcop92 on Twitter. Follow me to know when I'm casting. Follow me on Twitter. Of course, help me get that verification. Love you guys. Appreciate the support. We'll be right back.
seconds remaining.
Trying to think what they want to go
5
here with this
seconds remaining.
gyrocopter as well as the warlock. Not a hell of a lot of control on Keen, but a good amount of magical damage.
Turn to pick.
And they'll go Marana 4. You know, that gives them the opportunity with, say, a Yule's picked up on the Marana, arrow opportunities, get the stun. I would love to see Skywrath Axe become popular again. It, like, had its week in fame in China, and then everybody stopped doing it. And now they'll go Omni Knight. Omni Knight here for the side of Keen Gaming.
Seconds remaining.
Just one more phase after this
5
one, and
seconds
one more
remaining.
pick for this phase for both sides. Newbee, they got
Keen
their
Gaming
1-4-5, and they're gonna pick up the Tiny in the off lane most likely,
Team banned.
and right on back into that Void, which, to be quite honest, is, and no surprise, you've got the Zeus, you've got the Lena, you could throw things into this Chronosphere. You could pick up a 5-position Witch Doctor if you wanted to.
10 seconds remaining.
We saw the Void
5
run a
seconds
comeback against Vici, played by Beast Coast earlier today. Being the huge Chinese Dota fan I am, I will admit I weeped a little bit. I cried. But I am manly enough to admit that. Just gonna throw it out there. However, did give me the ability to
Keen Gaming
respect the
turn
South
to
American scene and the South American team of Beast Coast a lot more. Newbee banning the Ancient Apparition.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I definitely could see myself being the Chinese BTS expert. I know everything about the region. Cry for Vici as ROTK is gonna beat some people. Lena or Zeus mid is probably the Zeus. Lena in the 4. Especially with the Void picked up. You want the Zeus to be able to get that Nimbus online as quickly as possible. Zhao Yu played really well. I know they didn't end up performing as well in the playoffs, and I think maybe the tactics got found out a little bit of what Vici were doing, but I do think that Zhao Yu played well enough in the tournament as a whole, and he'll be going back down to Vici Gaming potential unless he gets picked up somewhere else.
Keen Gaming's turn to pick.
OD banned, and a last pick here for Keen, as they've got their cores. They do need their 5-position. Telling you, I wouldn't mind like a Witch Doctor or something.
Dire team pick.
Ogre. Yeah, you know what? Now that I think about it, Bloodlust there for the Void, of course. Why am I saying anything other than Ogre Magi that is picked up just about every game when you've got a right clicker like that? Are these tier 1 Chinese teams? I would say Keen more than Newbee. Newbee hasn't really been able to get out of their own way recently. And they continue to
10
just falter
seconds
time
remaining.
after time, unfortunately.
5 seconds remaining.
So off lane, Tiny, I'll assume, with Gyro safe lane. Need a mid up against the Zeus. see what it ends up being as Brood Mama. The Brood. This has been a final ban for some teams, and I'm excited to see what AQ and Newbee can do for this Brood. So Void and Omni Knight with the Zeus mid, and then TMing on the Ogre Magi, Zhao Fu on the Lina, and then AQ on the Brood, offlane Alwyn Tiny, aka Wizard, Weishi on the 4 position Mirana, 5 position Faith Warlock, and Fonte with the Gyrocopter. I'm not going to say anything about this Brood matchup. I've had times where I've said something about Brood matchups in the past. And then Dota players tweeting about how stupid I sound. So I'll keep my thoughts to myself, because the last time I spoke I was pretty dumb and ill-informed. That was like 2 years ago.
Prepare for battle.
So I definitely think the lane I'm going to focus on is going to be this Brood lane. I'm very interested to see how that plays out against the Zeus. Has the Void Hammer. Also has the inscribed bracers of Aeons of the Crimson Witness. This is an expensive, very expensive Void. You're looking at probably one of the most expensive Voids. Tiny just regen. He'll pick up a Quelling Blade eventually.
30 seconds to battle.
What did I have for breakfast? I didn't have anything for breakfast yet. It's only 3 a.m. That weapon isn't the expensive. I still have it. It's only the bracers. I said a pretty expensive set. Come on now. That Void Hammer's got some value. It's not the one that they ended up replacing,
The
though.
battle begins.
2 bounty runes a piece. And they move Zeus. Okay, so they're going to move Zeus into the offlane. They're going to throw the Omni Knight against the Brood. So a matchup change immediately. Zeus with the Ogre. And Lina here with the Faceless Void. So let's see how this matchup goes. Obviously, no spiders level 1 is you've got the spin web picked up. And then Dark going into the degen aura, so movement slow and attack slow, which should be a little helpful against this Brood. And yeah, now there it is. There's level 2. And you got yourself ready with some spiderlings. So how does Dark play this? This is the lane I'm most interested in. I'll switch over if I see someone get low. But the dynamic of this lane, I feel like, could change very quickly. Into the Purification. And then I wonder if he goes level 3 into the degen aura. Because that 10 to 18% jump is pretty significant. Or maybe go into the purification for the damage. So if you're surrounded by spiderlings, maybe you could just clean them up and have the damage. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. So far, he's got himself some regen. He's also got the Quelling Blade as well. But what he wants to try and do is get surrounded by some spiderlings and throw purification. He doesn't have much mana regen. So in the way of, you know, going up against these spiderlings next to the brood and throwing purification around them, not going to be exactly too easy to spam that out. It is 100 mana each time, and he only has 300 max. So will it be bottle first item for Dark? Or Soul Ring? Yeah. Okay, Soul Ring makes more sense. Makes a lot more sense, actually. And then Brood immediately moving out into the jungle. So that'll actually open up space for the Omni Knight. He'll get farm while in the lane. Won't be able to take out the spiderlings as easily as they won't be showing up in the lane as often. AQ will come back, pop a spawn spiderlings over in the lane, and then just continue to farm these camps when they come back up. And they kill Kama to get that first blood. That's a bit of a shocker. He has Time Walk level 2, so, you know, has the ability to get out. And was up against the Mirana as well as the Tiny, so they must have hit an arrow where he was unable to Time Walk away. Meanwhile, Rocket Barrage, as well as the homie missile coming in. Ogre taking a lot of damage and will be run down by Fonte. And then meanwhile, bottom, they've hit this arrow and they'll find the Starstorm. Stun comes in. Not enough damage yet as the time dilation slows them up and will stay nearby with the salve being popped. Wants to maybe throw a stun out, but coming back into this potentially too soon. Right clicks are okay, and Kama desperately needing a bash. Would love one more. Time walks forward again. And through the trees, salve popped, avalanche there and staying alive, and now the arrow thrown back at this void. So very close, little skirmish there. An Omni Knight level 6 to the 5 of AQ. Well, now the 6 of AQ. Never mind. And he's going into a Midas. So Soul Ring, Ring of Basilius. Toss on to Kama again. He is dead once more. Meanwhile, the Zeus, he's in trouble with the Fatal Bonds.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And they'll both be forced to try and heal up. The salve coming out onto this Zeus, and they won't be able to pick up the bounty rune. They would love to chase him down and get a kill, but I'm not certain they will, and they don't have the mana to get a Fire Blast out there. So this damage is potentially all for naught. As Gyro comes over and, yeah, will deter them from moving in any further.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, no surprise there. AQ. Not enough damage on the Dark. 3 into the Purification. Again, wanting that heal and damage to be pretty high. If he gets surrounded by spiderlings, he just really hit them hard.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Bring Ogre over and keep the spiderlings to the side. Zeus dies over top. They're trying to wrap around. Yes, I know that they got a kill in both lanes. I was wondering to see if they were going to make a shot at this, but it's just Tian Ming walking across and they lose 3 heroes. 6-0 for Newbee, 3,000 ahead. They lose Kama again. He is 0-3-0 over in this bottom lane. I mean, Tian Ming, he's walking across, he's placing vision, but what is that really accomplishing? And before you type it, I already know. Very much T-Tours. My apologies.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
stun. But again,
Radiant's middle
not
tower
really
is
doing
under
much
attack.
there.
Dire's middle tower is under
And
attack.
top, again, gotta be careful, Zeus. This is already a 3,000 net worth lead, and take a look at who's leading the way. It's actually the gyrocopter of all heroes. What did I say, guys? I said, before you write T-Tours, I already called myself on it. Guys just don't listen. Nah, I love you guys.
Radiant's middle tower
Almost level
is under
6 for the
attack.
Void. Would have probably loved to have that way earlier. Purification, getting some good farm, level 8. At least
Dire's
doing
middle tower is under attack.
doing a good job over mid on the Omni Knight. Like, all things considered, he's really held his own, but that's also because AQ's been farming these camps and staying away from dark as much as possible. And you see what he's able to do with purification right there. Wipes out a bunch of spiders. Desperately like to hit this level 6. They're gonna need make a lot of space for this Void. Avalanche, toss, arrow, and a very dead Lina. And another kill here for Newbee. 7-0, about to make it 8-0. They don't have Chronosphere. They don't get the kill on the Zeus, and now they'll turn it around. Fonte, he's gonna end up dead. That is not the way that they wanted that to go.
Middle tower is under attack.
First kill for Keen Gaming is a significant one.
Radiant's bottom tower
Midas
is
already
under
picked up
attack.
here for the Brood Mother. And now going straight into that Ags. Arena. Stun and Zeus coming over. Avalanche comes through as well as the toss arrow again with Faith coming around the back. The damage is heavy. Thunder God's Wrath, and they will trade one, but they'll lose two.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
9-2.
Bottom tower is under
And
attack.
the only positive so far is some space being made for Kama, but Omni Knight, he's still continuing to farm, but what does he offer without the rest of his team?
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
So, AQ
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
going into that Ags. Nothing really slowing him down. 5,000 net worth ahead. Arrow. Nowhere close.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under
He's
attack.
finished here, and
The prize is mine.
600 gold saved up, sitting top of the net worth for his team, and almost a full 1,000 ahead of the next one on his team, which is the Void. Blink Dagger all ready for the Tiny, and they're going to debut this. Kama could be in trouble.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's got a bit of backup here with the Zeus. Avalanche being thrown, I think spotting him. Maybe knows that the
Dire's middle tower
Blink Dagger
has
is on the
fallen.
Tiny, but that's if he checked his inventory before he got out of there.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So 414 at level 9, or at level 10, really.
The armor have unleashed.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
414 with the talent of the 90 gold per minute, so the items are going to be pretty quick here. We'll see what Dark's able to do. They've got the stun. All in. Avalanche with the flat cannon call down, and nothing doing there for Dark. They'll drop the chaotic offering. Freeze trying to walk his way out of this one, and should successfully be able to do so, but still, at the end of the day, I mean, this is so bad right now for King Gaming. Might even be worse. Fatal Bonds on to 3. You'll go with the Chronosphere. It's actually 2 in the Golem. Thunder God's Wrath comes in. You've got the bashes. Might get the kill on Infante and will. The Fatal Bond's still applied and could be a second, but won't be. Avalanche comes in. They've got the toss. They'll get the kill. Time Walk again. And surviving. Not terrible for this Faceless Void. But this is all the while Brood continuing to farm and almost finishing off that axe.
All wands will break.
So Omni 1900 gold. We'll see what's next in store for him as he's now level 11. Gets that first into the Guardian Angel.
Dire's top tower.
Brood searching. Blink, Avalanche, toss. He's been spotted. Arrow comes in. Heavenly Grace won't do enough. He's dead.
Another put down.
Easy does it. We're almost into this Maelstrom. Wonder if that'll even be enough to really start to turn this around. The one thing I will say is, now they're going for the tier 2 tower mid, but I'd like to see a little bit more pressure on the towers.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Blink, Avalanche, as well as the toss, has the arrow, and an easy kill there.
I wonder if this is the Carmen footprint.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Kama just trying to grab himself this tier 1 tower. And there it is.
Dire's top tower
And he will
has
finish the
fallen.
Maelstrom.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire are scanning.
So now that he's got this Maelstrom, his farm's going to start to speed up a little bit. Zeus just trying to get some space going into the Boots of Travel, or will he finish the Veil off first? I think the Veil is probably the better choice. Now, Ogre. Immediately dead. Brood's got that Ags coming in.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And there it is. 17 webs all of a sudden available, and it's now time to take over the Radiant side of the map. Meanwhile, Chronosphere committed onto the Warlock,
Radiant's
and will get the kill, but there's the Avalanche coming out, as well as the toss all the way back into the hands of Weishi. Purification, Heavenly Grace, continuing looking for this Mirana, but will leap to the low ground.
A fitting bounty.
So they keep the Zeus alive and work to get another kill. Again, Void trying to rise the ranks in terms of net worth. And starting to do so with this Maelstrom. This is a hefty lead, but with the right space and time, I think could be mitigated well enough by Keen Gaming. Chaotic Offering, arrow coming in. It's Chaotic Offering coming through for the Lina, who has Arcane Boots going into an Aether Lens, but not much of anything. EQ gets the Medallion going into the Sheepstick. Dark, what has he made recently? Hood. straight Mjolnir, and actually almost has the Hyperstone. Getting help with the Bloodlust from Tian Ming. Meanwhile, mid. Heavenly Grace at level 3, so you'll look at that health regen. I'm not certain it would be enough, honestly, if you were to get jumped on. But it's a really good way to maintain your health and kind of sustain yourself while you're trying to buy some time.
The armor have omniscience.
It's giving you that extra strength, the status resistance. 800 gold away from having that Mjolnir in full. Looking for the gyro. And has the chrono. Does he have the damage? He'll have a fire blast following it up. They'll drop the Laguna. They don't get the kill. Time walk, Sentry, still looking, lands the stun and finally gets it. That was very dangerous. And could have been really just awful if they don't get that kill. They really needed that.
Top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Just seems like not getting that. You lose a lot of hope.
Radiant's top tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They're going to Roche. They've got this medallion. Should be able to take it relatively quickly. There's no way into the pit, honestly, for Keen
Radiant are scared.
without the chrono, but they'll use the Thunder God's Wrath and keep Zeus bottom. Again, get the scan out there. Just take your time and
Dire's
I would say get your
structures are
farm.
fortified.
Well, they're going for this Roche.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
No sorceries avail.
Roshan has fallen into the dark.
No reason to try and fight that. But Void doing a good job. And then you've got the Omni who's sitting top of the net worth for the Radiant side. Has the pipe finished. Drums available. 1,500 gold saved up too. And the Zeus going into the Ags, you'll want that for the Nimbus to be placed into the Chronosphere when they go for these pickoffs potentially, or these team fights even. Gyro won't get the kill in time. Chrono. There it is again, and they'll use the Laguna. The bashes come through. They'll get the stun. They'll get the first life. Nobody's really here for Newbee as they're going to push through mid. The BKB will be popped. They'll try to get a bash, and they'll get themselves one. There's a 10-second BKB from Fonte starting to go towards mid, towards his team. Time walk again, forward. Time dilation slows him up. Bashes come in. They'll get the kill, but meanwhile, look at your base. I don't understand why not just BKB and have your team try to meet you there. But they commit to the tier 3, and I don't know if that's the right move. If you got the tier 3, I think that's the right play. But to allow your Gyro to lose 2 lives and waste a BKB charge seems like the wrong way to go about that. I think you should have helped. You're right here by the tier 3. You cut over. He died right by the shrine. Chaotic Offering comes down. Omni Knight, he's going to get quite low and will eventually fall. Freeze in trouble. The upheaval is actually what's slowing him. It felt like he was already out of range of it, but he's taking so much damage from this Broodmother. The Time Walk away will end up surviving. Backs off. And now the toss coming in onto the Lina. Never got to the high ground and gets hexed and dies. Okay.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Brood has the Hex going into the Orchid. Void dead, you are lacking answers at the moment. So Vlad's here for the Omni Knight. They've got the Moonlight Shadow. Tiny, who's pretty tanky. They'll have the rest of the team moving up. Ogre, Blink, Avalanche, Toss. Chronosphere comes in. Ogre stuck in mid-flight. And they'll get the kill here on All-In. They don't even lose the Ogre.
I almost feel bad.
Still 900 gold away from this Axe for the Zeus. Meanwhile, Zhao Fu dying. That's going to be Defante over top solo.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
And they finally take the tier 2 tower. So he's trying to desperately build a BKB of his own, and you're trying to really get this Ags, if you can, on the Zeus.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Sells the
Visibility.
Blade of Alacrity real quick. Bought it and sold it. Holds on to that gold, not having enough for buyback if he were to purchase it. Freeze, looking for a first hit bash. Won't get it. So he'll turn back. But here. It's going to be really hard for Keen Gaming to bring this game back, but they got to find some time to build these next items. They need this BKB. Although, I say they need this BKB, and it's a Yasha from Kama. He was and had this BKB queued, but goes into the Yasha instead.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Broodmother, meanwhile, has the Spider Wings cleaned up. Ags picked up for the Zeus. Now you've got that Nimbus to work with, and we'll see if that does anything here for the Faceless Void, as you've got another Ags finished by the Gyrocopter. There's the Hex. Chaotic Offering, and now they need help. Guardian Angel comes in with a Laguna Blade. Brute just gone. That's exactly what you need. They have Chronosphere available. They won't use it. They've got the vision here on the Faith. Purification, Sentry placed down, and Kama gets the kill. They'll get the save with the Guardian Angel. And the turnaround coming in. And that is exactly what you want if you're Keen Gaming.
Radiant's bottom shrine is under attack.
Gyro Chrono. Radiant Courier goes down, though. That's rough. Losing that Sanjin Yasha. And that Brood felt like it got melted. You need to go to a BKB, but Building into a nullifier next. Void is getting there, and, well, he would have liked to have that SNY. Now he could just build this BKB. Roche back up in a minute. Slowly but surely, Keen Gaming pulling this back. Doing what they can. Lena going into the Yules. That will give them a bit more control. Minute 45 till they get that courier back.
Are scanning.
But they're going to want to stay conservative without that chronosphere anyway.
Radiant's bottom shrine is under attack.
I wonder if they
Radiant's
want to
bottom
go like
shrine has
Ags
fallen.
on Kama to get that chronosphere
Dire's
available
middle
much
tower is under attack.
in a much better interval.
Illusion.
BKB, maybe an Ags, because the control is very important. The chronosphere is obviously winning them these fights when you have that kind of lockdown. Brood's still going nullifier. Oh, it has the BKB. 10-second BKB finish. There it is.
Radiant's top shrine is under attack.
So here they come. And they have the chrono, but the BKB's been popped by AQ. They'll look for the arrow. Purification, Heavenly Grace, backing off. And that is the 10-second BKB down.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Smoke up from this Keen Gaming side. They're going to cut across. But Newbee kind of dispersed. Roche, meanwhile, is back up. Courier coming all the way over. They've got the Nimbus ready. And Tiny, will they go for the Chrono? You'd like to hold that for the Brood, but he pops his BKB. You're happy with that, too. Meanwhile, Brood gets yet another kill. They look over at these Spiderlings. They'll take them out. They'll spot the Brood. They'll try to keep up, but so fast to get away. So there's that SNY going into the Butterfly next. Zeus going into the Veil again with a Blink Dagger. And then Yule's almost finished off for Zhao Fu. For the side of Newbee, Daedalus for the Tiny. He's got the Echo Saber and that BKB. Mech here, Pipe here, and Medallion. So a second Medallion for Newbie. And then just Midas. Straight Refresher Orb with Ags for the Warlock. Wow, this Warlock has a lot of farm. Gyro X Satanic, no surprise there. And Thunder God's Wrath will spot them by the Roche bid. They still have Chronosphere to work with, so they're going to want to look for the right spotting.
Allies disappear.
Shadow. Freeze on the low ground for a moment. He backs off and coming across in the Moonlight Shadow, but there's a sentry there. They'll spot him. They've got the stun as well as the Nimbus. Now can they get the kill with a nice Laguna Blade? But BKB And now Void, he has to wonder whether or not he wants to commit on this. Chaotic Offering comes in. Chronosphere is going to be committed onto the Broodmother. Call down used. Arrow coming in. Up to the top side is Freeze. Can he get the kill onto the Broodmother? He can. But now Avalanche coming through. Golem's not really striking, and a pause comes in. Okay. Alright, where were we? Fonte moving forward with the BKB. He's going to try and chase down Jiaofu. They've also got the Fatal Bonds on a lot of these heroes. The arrow finally hits onto the Void, but he's got the Time Walk, has the bash onto the Gyrocopter. Moving forward as the Golems as well as Weishi. Tiny throws that tree, aka that Stone Sword, but now they're onto the high ground. They've bought back onto the Ogre Magi, as well as bought back on the Brood. That could be a potential problem. Solar Crest, they need this Aegis on the Brood, but they don't have Chronosphere to lock them down, so they can get into the pit. Do this pretty quickly. And by very quickly, I mean almost instantly. Thunder God's Wrath comes in. They have Nimbus to lay out. BKBs are going to be popped. They'll go for Roche. Is going to be picked up here by AQ. Pops the BKB. And now they've got the Avalanche toss onto the Zeus. Time Walk out, trying to survive. Stun comes in. Bloodlust onto this Void. And AQ trying to chase down this Zeus, but the stun hits. They'll survive for now. TM Ming into the trees, and he's out of harm's way, but well, they've got the Aegis. Yeah, with no Chrono, that is a hard entry point. With no BKB either. I mean, that is a risk, if I've ever seen one. He just picked up here for the Broodmother. I truthfully am in awe at the fact that the Void was able to get out. Lena dead. That is Lena dead for 50 seconds. You can't give chase without that Chronosphere. And even then, now, you know, is the Chronosphere worth using on one life for the Broodmother? You want to be able to take the Broodmother out of the fight. You don't want to just take the Broodmother out for the first life.
Swifter than ever.
The thunder claps, but doesn't strike down. Sounds like the storm is rolling in. Void fully committing to that satanic. No buyback. But you see with that Bloodlust, striking every 0.43 seconds. They've got vision on the Kama, and Time Walk forward. No Chrono committed on that.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Brood going away from that. Noah Fire going into the AC. And Faith is dead.
Radiant's
They
middle
didn't Chrono for that. They'll get the kill. And now they're without the Warlock for 60 seconds. That means no Chaotic Offering. And, you know, that's a big part of your team fight right there. .2% status resistance. Void spotting the Tiny, and again, Newbee back off.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Shadow is used. And what is Freeze going for next? That Butterfly? I wonder if he'll change from that, if he's going to just commit to it. But we'll see. AC finally picked up here for the Broodmother. You'd like to try and hold out for the Aegis to expire. You don't want to use that Chrono and only get 1 life. You want to be able to take the Broodmother out of the fight completely. Easy 70% status resistance with the Heavenly Grace. Just constantly have it on freeze. Of the Solar Crest on him. You'll have the Bloodlust on him, the Heavenly Grace. They're just trying to buff up this Void and hold out until the Aegis is expired, and it just about is. What is going on there?
Are fortified.
Avalanche comes through. The Aegis is expired. So it's gone, and now you have an opportunity with a good Chronos here to take Brood out of the fight. Brood doesn't have buyback for another minute and 34 seconds either. So this is an opportunity for Keen Gaming to, take out the Brood and potentially turn this game around despite being down 30,000 net worth. MKB instead of the Butterfly. Just need to find the Brood. As of right now, Brood just staying on the high side of this mid lane by the river. So they'll take the long wrap around. They don't spot anybody. Meanwhile, smoke's being used by Newbee in the lane. They're trying to find the Brood Mama. Might be able to do so. Chrono opportunity? No! Chaotic Offering comes in. They never throw the Chronosphere. Now the arrow's going to hit onto this Faceless Void, but the status resistance is going to help him to get out of that really quickly. They look over at Faith. He's already thrown the Chaotic Offering. I don't know why he's going to be your victim or attempt to be his victim. Bash is coming in. Now he'll drop the Chaotic Offering once again. Time walk onto the high ground, and now back into the base. We take a look as BKB is about to run out on AQ as they'll drop down the call down on the Zhao Fu. They'll get the kill. That's going to be 2 dead, and they're running back dark. They no longer have the Chronosphere, and I think all their tools are kind of gone. You got multiple golems here just doing work on this base. And now you don't really have an answer for it. Avalanche toss, BKB. They'll kill the Tiny. This game is starting to really float away unless Void can do something about it, but he's just not outputting the damage that they would like. Leap away, and the Solar Crest placed onto this gyro by Weishi. And unfortunately, yeah, that is not what they want. He went after the Warlock after the Chronosphere had landed on the 3, but
Radiant's courier
wasn't able to really. Oh no! Oh! That is the second time the Broodmother has killed the courier. And that is now 3 minutes left without the MKB. Oh. Avalanche toss onto the Ogre. BKB is popped. Woo! Now you can right click the rock, but you're not chiseling out anything. Brood Mother goes into the base, takes out the Zeus, dead for 2 minutes, and yeah, you're seeing this fall apart here for Keen Gaming. Solar Crest base down. Kama trying to man fight on Afante, realizes he can't really do that. Time walks again, and hasn't popped the Satanic just yet. The BKB is going to be popped by Fonte, and again, just trying to man fight into his face. So the tier 3 standing, and Avalanche toss onto the Void. They've got the Guardian Angel, Chronosphere, and you're dead. Now you have no buyback. That should be the end of the game. GG is called, and we're going to a game 3. Huh. Not exactly the way you want to die there with that Chronosphere. Omni did everything he could to hold that game in place, and the Void was starting to bring it back, but no MKB, and it just felt like the Void was not doing enough. And he did have 30,000 hero damage, but look at the Zeus, 42,000. Like, you want your Void to be up there, and I don't know. It just seemed like he wasn't doing enough despite only dying 5 times, and obviously the Brood just got all the time in the world to farm up and only had 16,000 hero damage. It was really the Tiny with the 33,000 and Fonte with 31,000. So, King Gaming take game 1, Newbee take game 2. We'll be going on to a game 3 in just a moment. I'm your caster, Bcop, at Bcop92 on Twitter. Follow me to know when I'm casting. And help me get that check mark verification. We'll be back in just a moment. See you in a bit.
10 seconds remaining.
All right, and welcome back. Game 3 between Keen Gaming
5
and
seconds remaining.
Newbee. Got ourselves a game 3 in this series. Coming up next will be Newbee against eHome. Newbee took game 2. Keen Gaming took game 1. Gave up that Broodmother, and I was surprised how willing they were to give it up like that. And it just obviously got out of hand and opened up the game for everybody else because it wasn't the top damage dealer. It really just made the space that they needed to end up getting it all done. So we'll see how King Gaming try to at least recover here in game 3 with Shrek and Tree and Protector, so a root and a stun. Meanwhile, Ogre picked up for Newbee, so can at least assume that they're probably going to go for some sort of right clicker. We'll see what they want. 30 seconds left. Taking a long time to think about this second pick. Not something that you see too much, with the time being taken. But they've got their 5 in the Ogre Magi. We'll see what else they want. Lena's banned for the 4 position, as is the Shadow Demon. Probably need to get a core out, but they end up going to the Skyreth. So now this gives you a lot of options. If you want, say, an Axe to be in your off lane. Something we were talking about in the previous draft is like, where is the Axe Skyreth we were seeing so much of? Oddly enough, it's kind of just disappeared. And Keen Gaming have played that Axe Skywrath before. And they used it and won. And that was with Elder Titan as well as Leshrac and TA. TA gets banned. Clockwork is gone. Did we see it again in that series? No. That was the only time it seems like it's been played in this event so far. Oh no, it was played by Keen Gaming again. They've done it twice.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
So
Keen Gaming's
a lot of reserve
turn to
time
ban.
being used at the moment.
Keen Gaming's
They
turn
banned
to
the
pick.
Razor. They banned the Beastmaster. Let's see what Keen won, as I can maybe say, not for certain obviously, but potentially going into an Axe here for Newbee.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
As for Keen Gaming, they've got their old Shrek that should be in the safe lane. OD still available if they want to go with that for the mid. If they want to go with some sort of save against this Axe. Now this time around, Keen Gaming are the ones taking a lot of time thinking about their next pick.
Radiant team pick.
And they're going to the Rubik. So some more control, the ability to steal spells. The Fade Bolt's always nice early. And Newbee, do they just go to the Axe right here and now? And that's if they want to go to the
10
Axe.
seconds remaining. Keen Gaming's turn to pick.
And they go Kunkka instead. So this could be mid Kunkka. This could be off lane Kunkka. We'll see where it ends up falling. Gives them even more control with the X as well as the Torrent Boat. And now Centaur for the offlane for Keen. So someone who can play aggressively in the lane, especially with high stacks and the Retaliate. Will probably be paired up with the Rubik. Just because that's usually the case where you go like, Fade Bolt and Retaliate level 1 for both of them, but then Telekinesis Hoof Stomp, and you can Telekinesis into the feet of the Centaur, get the Hoof Stomp out, and work with the Retaliate stack. So you've got an Alchemist picked up for a Newbee. Bit of a surprise with the hero not too popular these days in the Chinese region.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
End up banning that Gyrocopter, so probably expecting the offlane Kunkka and mid Alchemist. And there's that OD ban hero I was talking about getting. They go Timber Saw. So Timber coming in. An interesting last pick here. The lockdown is pretty good for Newbee. And now their chase potential is really good.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
We'll see what Keen Gaming want to go for with their last pick. Looking in over mid. And I wonder if I'll go Monkey King. So Yi on the Monkey King. Freeze on the Leshrac. That'll leave Dark on the Centaur, Zhaofu on the Rubik, Tian Ming on the Treant Protector. And then all in on the offlane Timber. Safe lane Kunkka, mid Alchemist, 4 position Weishi Skyrath, and a 5 position Ogre. So, game 3 here, and Newbee looking pretty powerful and pretty tanky overall. See if that ends up being enough.
That was genius.
Prepare for battle.
Hey, everybody.
King Gaming definitely have opportunities to play aggressively. If they could shut down the Alchemist, I think they're in a decent spot. But what Newbee were trying to do are use the Timber Saw and the Kunkka to play aggressively early and then open up the game for the Alch.
I almost feel bad.
So I do want to see how Keen Gaming are going to try to at least mitigate this for the most part. But if we see Newbee start to get ahead, it could be a huge problem for a while.
Hey, everybody.
is here. Maybe looking to steal a bounty rune.
The battle begins.
And won't get it. And shows himself regardless. And we'll get hit up with a whole bunch of damage trying to come across the lane and get back to... Not the best go at that. That's for sure. Meanwhile, bottom, at least for the moment, it is a trialing, I believe, to get a kill before they send somebody up top. And there it is. No retaliate level 1, but they'll have the stuns to lock down the timber. And they'll try to get this kill. The reactive armor, not enough. Just not enough. Meanwhile, Monkey King mid with the Skywrath, at least for now, sitting there with AQ. So he's forced to salve up. They will then send over the Centaur over towards top. He's there with the Treant Protector, which is not the combination that I was thinking of. You know, to have that retaliate, have that hoof stomp with the telekinesis. I wonder if the supports are going to swap and if that's going to be a walkover swap. I don't also think that this is good for Newbee to have a dual lane mid. I don't understand what you're accomplishing by cutting his experience. He just hits level 2. And quite honestly, Yi will take a lot of damage here and be in a bit of trouble, but still, he's able to salve up and stay in the lane. I'm not too certain that the experience cut is well worth it. Into level 3, and let's see what he's able to accomplish. Yeah, I mean, the gold is nice, but you still want to have those levels there on the Alchemist. If you fall too far behind, you're very susceptible to going down. And there's that Rubik coming out. Dark up top. That's what I was talking about. They did walk one bottom and then TP the other across. And there's that level 4. AQ just hitting that level 3. And again, just a lot of damage being done. And they drop down the acid spray for now. You thinking about going in and getting that Jingu procced, but he just walks forward and dies. He walked to the high ground and knew he had to go back through the acid spray. I don't really understand that, and that'll be Wishy killing himself for mana and health purposes. And he might not even show back up to the lane.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, that was a very odd move. But you doing a good job of landing all these last hits. And as I say that, I jinx him on that last one. So Skywrath does join him back over mid. And again, the harassment continues as he is about to hit level 5. But he needs to find an opportunity to go in if he wants to use these levels effectively. And I think that stems from the Rubik coming over.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Bottom lane not going nearly as well as they would have hoped, but Then again, 20 last hits so far for Kama isn't exactly the worst, as they try to collect their bounty runes. Faith will grab the 2 here, and it will be 3-1 in favor of the Alchemist. And again, Monkey King just continuing to do really well over here in the mid lane, and they'll bring TM Ming over because AQ's only level 4. If he's not too careful against soon to be level 6 on the Monkey King, he might just die here over mid if he overextends. They do have Skyrash showing back up. Concussive Shot, Arcane Bolt. And TM Ming looking for his opportunity to come in. Just trying to get the pop there on the Jingu, or at least 3. Because then you've got the root, and then you'll have the damage bonus. And they're going to spot him again, and also have Rubik coming over for a second with that haste, but he decides to go back over towards top. So you got to wonder how this is going to end up going. Meanwhile, Fonte low. They'll get a kill there for Keen Gaming, and Alchemist still within this jungle. They'll TP on the other side, and then he will come over. He is level 6, so goes into the 2-1-3 round. And I think he was gonna TP, but got rooted up there by TM Ming. Back into the invis, but here's the Rubik. They've got the telekinesis out onto Fonte. Stampede is committed. And it's just kind of a look at you. Hey, you're over here. And nothing more.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But Monkey King doing a very good job so far, and would have liked to shut down this Alchemist, but didn't have that opportunity.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
So sorry.
You know, not only does he have these last hits, but he's also going into the denies. Team Ming will go invis by these trees. They've got the sentry ward down, so they do have the vision. But now he's out of it, comes all the way around and back into it.
Dire's bottom
So he was out of it for a second. Sentries placed all over. Nobody coming to help out TM Ming just yet. The Fire Blast will come through, and now he's out of vision again. Hello. Standing in the acid spray. Meanwhile, Timber just casually under the tier 2 tower and in between the tier 2 to tier 3. Trying to sap up as much experience as he can, splitting it with Faith and this TM Ming Tree and Protector. A ward was placed down and immediately dewarded by Wei Shi, and out of the jungle is the Alchemist.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And Yi trying to pop that Jingu. He's got it, and Faith in trouble. He ends up dead.
His middle tower is under
Freeze rotates over. They'll get the kill, and now they'll be able to push the tower with a Diabolic Edict. It's not a level 4 Diabolic Edict, but
fortified.
it is something.
Dire's bottom tower
A lot of
is under
damage
attack.
being done. Monkey King coming in, looking to get the kill here onto the Skywrath.
Is under attack.
And he's starting to move around. That's a 2,000 net worth lead, but Monkey King's starting to do what he does best, and that is move around and get some of these kills. Popping that Jingu and making these lanes uncomfortable for Newbee.
Tower has
Yes,
fallen.
you've got an Alchemist farming, but you need a little bit more than that. And they kind of do have it. Kunkka had a good time. Timbersaw takes out the tier 2 over bottom. You know, it is not just on this Alchemist, and all of a sudden, X Torrent can get some health potentially with the Jingu Mastery. Monkey King is able to get out. No tree dance his way to an escape. Bounty Room picked up. Dark Torrent. That hits. And they've got the Whirling Death. Still trying to get this kill, but at the end of the day, don't eventually get it as quickly or if at all. But with a 4th over, this should definitely be a Centaur dead. And there it is. Took him a long time to rotate all these heroes over. Now Weishi's gonna pay with it with his life as they've got the Monkey King roaming for more.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
I will
attack.
say the Centaur not too underfarmed against this Timber who did take 2 towers.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Overgrowth was used. They'll get the kill there on a Tian Ming.
Radiant's
Yi now, he's stunned out of the trees. In trouble. Fire Blast to follow it up, and this could be a dead Monkey King. He needs to get out of here. But they use the Stampede. He might just go into the Jingu and heal up, but can't get a strikeout. He wanted the balance strike afterwards to heal up a bit after popping and procking the Jingu, but now it's just 3 heroes dead.
bottom tower is under attack.
That is not good for Keen Gaming. We're getting outpaced pretty heavily.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
So it did look like the Monkey King was kind of doing enough, but now the Alchemist has kind of been able to run away with it and open up the map a little bit more for him.
Dire's
I
top
think the
tower
Monkey
is
King
under
was able to
attack.
grab a couple of kills there and not die those few times. I think this game looks a lot better for Keen. Unfortunately now, I mean, Alchemist is going to find farm, and he's going to start to go around the map, have that Radiance, farm a lot faster, as well as the fact that Timber and Kunkka have done well for themselves
Dire's top tower is under
just overall. And right through the river, Mystic Flare, X-Boat. I don't know what you're doing there, but it ain't surviving, that's for sure. Wukongs comes out, and they'll find him again. Whirling Death, and this is looking really bad for Keen Gaming all of a sudden.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
This is just
Dire's structures are
Keen Gaming getting steamrolled at the moment, and they need to really slow down the pace of this game if they can. They're going to come over towards mid, go for the Timber. Telekinesis, double edge, a lot of damage being done here on Alwyn. They also have the Overgrowth to grab themselves a second on the Skywrath. So that's a good double tap for them, but I'm not sure if it's
Radiant's middle tower is
going to be
under
enough.
attack. Tower has
They also
fallen.
get the tower. So that helps Leshrac do a little bit more, feel a little bit more useful using that level 4 in the Diabolic Edict to just push this tower and do as much as he can.
Lively now. Your admiral is on board. Haste.
Teaming and
Radiant's bottom tower is under
spotting the Alchemist, but not spotting the rest of the team who will blow up this Centaur. X-Torrent Mystic Flare, more than enough damage.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower
And it's just, you know, not the pressure that Keen Gaming would like to have
is under attack.
put on. Kama wants to get in there, use that Diabolic Edict and take these towers in return. But, you know, you cut these pickoffs have been really costly. They could still come back into it. Again, it's about the pace of the game. If Monkey King's able to get anything done. Oh my god, again. Almost getting caught out here. Stampede will be committed. They've got the telekinesis. The silence is through on the Monkey King. Overgrowth is there, but can they follow this up? They've got Chakram. They'll do the damage on a Tian Ming. They'll get the kill. They look over at Dark. Chakram not enough. Two-man hoof stomp. And they will lose yet another. And with the Yules, this should be a third. So, AK net worth lead for Newbee. They take 3-0.
This'll come in handy.
Again, Monkey King just not able to do anything. Just making stacks for himself. Playing this very efficiently, now going into the BKB.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He's just going to start cleaning up.
Are scanning.
And unfortunately for Keen Gaming, there's not much they could do to stop this Alchemist with how poorly this is going. And Dark dead again. 1-5-5 for this Centaur.
Dire's middle tower is under
And
attack.
he just can't stay alive in this game.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They'll go down bottom, they'll get themselves a tower, but
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
they need much more than that to get back into this game.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, I'm not sure this game is even just because the Outcast, is inflating that net worth lead. You've still got a very farm Kunkka and a Timber who's basically run around unimpeded. Balance strike, telekinesis, they'll find the Skywrath and get the kill. Trying to get that Rod of Atos, have that extra control, work with that to throw a Mystic Flare. But it's just a singular pick-off onto a position 4 while the rest of the team continues to farm. Dagger finished on the Centaur. We'll see if that's enough. Like, can they use that and get some lockdown to turn into anything more? Other team right now is going into Roche. You're giving up an Aegis for a bit of farm, and it's not really equivalent exchange. If you could take this tower, that would be nice. If you could pressure this tower, then maybe it's worth it. But you don't have the Leshrac at the moment. And Monkey King's trying to go in on this, but this is still a tough sell. You're in the enemy base trying to go for a pickoff. They could rotate very quickly and put you in a lot of trouble. And they will rotate. You'll get the kill into the Skywrath. Now you'll try to stampede out, but the X is there as well as the boat Torrent. So that's what I was talking about. You're going to dive into the enemy's base. And I'm pretty certain, yeah, you're paying for this.
Radiant's top
Although
tower
Monkey
is
King
under
surviving
attack.
a lot longer than I thought he would. And the TP out, how does he survive?
Tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
That is some trickery coming out there from Yi.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Really well done there by the Monkey King to survive on that. It almost looked like he was guaranteed to give up his life. Primal Spring all the way back. Make sure he can't get followed up on. And now they've got a Yules. They'll look over as Tian Ming's been spotted out. Does have overgrowth, but nobody coming in, and the trees are cut around him. Nature's guys will only help you for so much. So, still an 11,000 net worth lead. King Gaming trying their hardest to pull this back. It's just going to be very tough as Kunkka's still leading the way if it's not an Alchemist. Alchemist going into the heart. He's got a BKB ready to go. 10-second BKB with all the tier 2s already taken out, so... You know, the best use of these BKBs are going to be on the high ground.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Like, how do you stop them from taking your towers? Your tier 3's already gone.
Radiant's top tower is under
Hoof Stomp misses, and now moving in is All-In. Chakram on top of Dark, and not really much place to move. X back, Torrent won't land as he uses the Stampede. Meanwhile, Monkey King is top. They're going to concede the center axe. And they're not stopping really there. Zhao Fu in trouble. Arcane Bolt coming in and trying to survive into the well, and he will, but
Radiant's top
still Newbee are here and postured. Tian Ming, not the right spot to be in. They do get the timber, so not a bad trade in their favor. And it looks like Keen might want to take the fight to them. And the trees will go, and BKB is going to be popped. The balance strike comes in, and now Yi, what can he do? He'll get the kill here on the Skywrath Mage. They're giving chase. They've got the Yules. They'll hit the split earth. And the damage on the Fonte is pretty heavy. They don't get the kill just yet. They've got the X to pull back Kama. He's still trying to run away. They've got Boundless Strike available. They'll keep up with him. Split earth comes through. They'll get the kill. And now just the Alchemist is alive. Keen, they give up the Rack's bottom, but... this is a fight that is well worth it to kill off 4. And that is the first time, in my opinion, that King Gaming have felt positive about going in and confident to move forward.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
He just expires, and luckily enough for the Alchemist, King Gaming back off. So King Gaming trying to do something despite sacrificing those racks. Smoke gets broken. Weishi, blink. Looking for the hoof stomp. Will find it. Double edge is there. They'll throw the Chakram. They've got the stun coming out from the Ogre Magi as well as the Torrent onto 2, but they use the Stampede. The boat comes in. It's not going to be enough with the Wukong's command being placed down with the BKB being popped by Yi. They look over at Faith. They try to get the Ogre Magi. They'll pop the Jingu. They'll get the kill. And now can they get more? They're trying to run on the side of Newbee. Into the trees they go. They'll chop them down now. Primal Spring. Boundless Strike. Alchemist in trouble. Hit with the Split Earth. He ends up dead. They look over it all when he Timber Chains away. But the chase is on. Chakram thrown short. Now Timber Chain onto the high ground. But the Timber Chain from the Rubik. That is a very precarious position. They've got the Yules. They'll hit the Torrent back into the inside of their base. They'll go. And King Gaming won't get any more. And Dark looking dead as he is caught out with the X and the Whirling Death. Ooh, Xiaofu too. Over by this shrine, they've got the silence on him. And a concussive shot gets the finishing blow. So with that fight, Leshrac pulls a lot of gold, Monkey King pulls a lot of gold, and now they kind of look like they have this game potentially. Despite being down 6,000 net worth, that now completely is just alc padding. But before, it was the Kunkka and the Timber doing enough, but they just have not found farm in the last few minutes. Rod, Mystic Flare, Chocolate. Easy kill there on TMing. Throw a stun mid. Monkey King just getting obliterated there. AQ more than enough damage, and they're going to potentially need to buy back on this Monkey King. Wayne Stomp lands on 2. They've got the Silent Split Earth coming out onto the Alchemist. Now they've got the Telekinesis to lift him up. Pulse Nova isn't going to be enough damage. AQ on the run gets finished off by Yi. Timber Chain, Whirling Death all the way out and away. 2-man Torrent, Kama in trouble, as is the rest of the team. The Monkey King gets low and he needs to get out of this. He just bought back the Spirit Vessels placed on him, and now Fonte trying to run for his life. Timber Chain across, he's got the Spirit Vessel placed on him as well. Telekinesis, Fable comes in, Dark trying to be tanky as he is. And then we'll get the Hoof Stomp. Timber Chain across. Xiaofu gets the kill. 4 heroes gone. And now they'll look over potentially to get a full team wipe. Faith getting hit by Dark. The damage is heavy with the Retaliate popped. Double Edge in. Full team wipe for King Gaming. They keep Monkey King alive. And somehow end up on top. Really well done there by the Rubik, having that control and stealing the right spells. The Timber Chain across was pretty effective. Also throwing them in the hands of Dark. Landing those multiple hero stomps and getting those double edges out. And then just right-clicking pretty hard with the Retaliate too. Now they probably won't be as confident moving forward. I don't know how you could be. They're going to want to go into this heart. And wait for this Alchemist to find a little bit more farm. But while you're waiting for that, he's picked himself up a Crystallis. He's going into the Maelstrom as well as the Butterfly, then Scotty. Things for sure definitely don't get easier. Alchemist coming forward. They'll find Tian Ming. Easy kill there, but in a way, tanking the gank. Question now becomes, can they finish Roshoff quickly enough? They do have the Solar Crest to speed it up, but it doesn't look like King Gaming is going to contest it all. Keen Gaming need to be careful because they probably would have liked to have that Aegis themselves. Especially for this Monkey King who needs a second life. He bought back in the previous fight, and if he dies again, Newbee could just win this game. So it's a struggle for Keen Gaming to split up, if at all. Need to have somebody here by Yee's side.
should help.
He's picked up. Alex got that heart. Right now in his backpack, he's going into the Basher next. And he's really starting to pick up the pace on that farm. He's been given a lot of space, and it's due to the fact that Keen Gaming, their buybacks are basically non-existent except for Leshrac and TM Ming. You know, you need everybody here to have your buybacks. You especially need the Monkey King to have his. And now another set of racks might be destined to fall. Tian Ming. And they've got the Yules. Wukong's command comes out, but Mystic Flare doing a lot of damage. Centaur in trouble. The Overgrowth comes out, followed up. They're still trying to get the kill here onto the Timber Saw. They won't find him, and they're out of the Wukongs. This is going to be at least a set of racks. I used there by Keen, and they didn't really get much out of it.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
There goes the racks. On to the last one.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Really tough here for the side of Keen Gaming to make the defense. Torrent lands, and Kevin just trying to move forward with the Pulse Nova to do something. On the backlines, meanwhile, Monkey King tries to come through. The Split Earth doesn't land on a Faith. BKB's going to be popped with the Pulse Nova doing damage to this Ogre Magi, but it's not going to be enough. The BKB is popped by AQ, and he's going to chase inside the space. Not really much to worry about. There's the Ignite. Good three-man hoof stomp, and now the double edge. That's huge! Split Earth follows it up. They've got the boat coming in. They got the kill to the Skywrath. He'll buy back immediately. They look over at the Centaur, who's got the Spirit Vessel on him, but the Lotus Orb will purge it off. Balance Strike comes through. Face still alive. They've got the Chakram laid down. They'll get the kill in the dark. He doesn't have buyback. He's dead for 90 seconds. The Ogre Magi dies as well as the Treant. And they'll both buy back. Getting chased. Chakram. And yeah, that is a dead MK and potentially the game. Everybody's still here for Newbee. And this is going to be at least megas. We'll see if they just look to finish it all. I mean, a long time until the Monkey King's alive. Question is, will it matter? Yules, Torrent, Chakram, Mega Creeps, Zhao Fugan. He's got no buyback either. And they'll find this camo, Leshrac. And yeah, GG is called. Newbee. They'll steal the series 2-1. So Newbee take the victory. Keen it looked like they were bringing it back for a moment, but a couple of misplays and well, it goes Newbee, and they end up finishing it off. Alchemist going 6-2-12, top of the net worth of 30,000. On top of that, they had some good farm on Fonte and Allin. They did a really good job. 8-4-10, 4-3-17. Were able to enable this Alchemist, and at the end of the day, Monkey King just not enough at 10-5-7. So Newbee take the series, and now they're up again to go up against eHome. And we'll have to see how they fare. King Gaming a decent squad, but eHome definitely the better of the two tonight. And we'll see what eHome are able to accomplish against this team, and maybe pick up in spots that King Gaming are unable to. But that'll be next, coming up hopefully soon. It is scheduled to be live in 3 minutes, so we'll be back with that in just a moment. I'm your caster, BCOP, at BCOP92 on Twitter. Follow me to know when I'm casting and help me get that verification check mark. And again, we'll be back. I appreciate you guys showing up. Appreciate you so much. Love you guys. See you in a bit.